The H1B guy here, and today, the H1B guy responds. Please prepare a video on S386 for awareness and how it would change the H1B visa. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B guy channel here on YouTube. It helps me to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention that the H1B guy offers consulting services, whether that be in the form of work authorization, education and training, audit and compliance, document and evidence review. Please reach out to me. I'd love to hear how I can help you. I also wanted to mention that tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, please join me for another round of the H1B guy live, unedited and unscripted Q&A. Thanks to Twitter follower Panak Trivetti, who asked the H1B guy, please prepare video on S386 for awareness and how that bill can be a game changer for H1B, and post it here. Thanks. Introduced on February 7th, 2019, the Fairness for High-Skilled Immigrants Act of 2019 was sponsored by Senator Mike Lee from Utah. Here on congress.gov, we can see the introduction of the legislation in the 116th Congress. The official title for the Senate says that the bill is to amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to eliminate the per-country numerical limitation for employment-based immigrants, to increase the per-country numerical limitation for family-based sponsored immigrants, and for other purposes. Now let's get started with S386 awareness. I'm going to cover the bill as it stands today. This current form includes several amendments and changes to the bill from its original form as introduced in February of 2019. Starting with S386 removes per-country cap for employment-based green cards and increases family-based preferences per-country cap to 15% of total allotment. Next, S386 creates a transition period to eliminate employment-based backlog over 10 years. It'll begin with a 1-year fiscal year without changes, then adjusting to the per-country percentages incrementally. This will significantly alter the country percentage cap for EB2 and EB3 categories and will have the largest impact on rest of world applicants. Rest of world applicants are defined as those countries not listed in the employment-based preference visa bulletin that's issued each month. Caps would include 30% for year 1, 25% for year 2, 20% for year 3, 15% for year 4, 10% for years 5 and 6, and 5% for years 7, 8, and 9. So the total 10-year is 1 fiscal year without any changes, and then incrementally adjusting the percentages over a 9-year period. Year 11 would be the beginning of a first-come, first-served basis. Literally, this will be the first in line with no country cap specific to employment-based preferences. Third, S386 strengthens H1B employer restrictions by requiring employers to advertise the open position to workers already in the U.S. It allows the Department of Labor to further investigate fraud specific to H1B wages, and it also increases the LCA filing fees. Fourth, S386 for a period of 9 years exempts up to 5,000 Schedule A shortage occupations, and this provision was specifically created for foreign registered nurses. 5. S386 creates a new status for individuals with an I-140 approval for 2 years or more in EB1, EB2, or EB3 category. This would grant advanced parole rights for travel and freedom to choose their employer. Dependents and children would be allowed to maintain the new status until the green card approval. 6. S386 grants 5.75% green card allotment that would be reserved for the rest of world applicants located outside of the U.S. 7. S386 creates the 50-50 rule for employers with 50 or more employees with 50% of their employees working under H1B, would not be allowed to add any new H1B employees via the HCAP lottery until the ratio was below 50%. It also gives 180 days from the provision enactment for a grace period for employers to comply. Senator Mike Lee has attempted to pass S386 with unanimous consent. What is unanimous consent? Here we'll go directly to the source, senate.gov, for the definition. Unanimous consent. A senator may request unanimous consent on the floor to set aside a specified rule of procedure so as to expedite proceedings. If no senator objects, the Senate permits the action. But if any one senator objects, the request is rejected. Unanimous consent requests with only immediate effects are routinely granted, but ones affecting the Senate floor schedule, the conditions of considering a bill or other business, or the rights of other senators are normally not offered, or a Senate floor leader will object to it, until all senators concerned have had an opportunity to inform the leaders that they find it acceptable. As we've witnessed with Senator Durbin and Senator Scott over the last 3 months, when unanimous consent is called for, one senator can block the bill's passage. Unanimous consent is a great option to fast-track a bill, but it requires complete bipartisanship. So how does S386 change the H-1B visa? First, S386 will significantly impact the Indian integrators who have been at the front and center of the cheap labor H-1B pipeline debate. The same integrators are accused of flooding the U.S. tech labor market with young, cheap Indian nationals. Second, S386 will increase wage audits from the Department of Labor and will curb the cheap labor debate. The Department of Labor will have the full authority to audit prevailing wages for H-1B employers across the board. 3. S386 ends the never-ending H-1B cycle for individuals with certified perm labor that have had an approved I-140 for at least 2 years. No longer will they be required to submit extensions or amendments every 12 to 36 months once they are working under the new status that would be created. I've previously called the status the H-1B EAD, but I've also seen others refer to it as the I-140 EAD. This will give qualified individuals the freedom of travel and the freedom to choose their employer. A total game changer. For the full post on S386 awareness and how it will change the H-1B visa, please check out the H1BGuy.com. And as I mentioned earlier, a reminder, please join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for another episode of the H1B Guy Live, unedited and unscripted Q&A. If you haven't already, please like this video. Please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube and select all for notifications so that you're notified anytime a new post goes up. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.